Hello, welcome everyone to this another video of PrepBee, wherein I will be interacting with Ankit. He is from NMIMS Mumbai, and right now he is in the second year. And basically, I wanted to ask him how did he go about preparing for his NMAT exam because he scored 252, which is a really good score if you want to secure an admission into NMIMS Mumbai. And he also, had cleared the exam prior to taking admission. So he had given the exam, attempted, could not clear the interview. So again, he re-attempted, and then in the second attempt, he finally made it through. Uh, Before I ask you more about your scores, Ankit, I want you to tell us about your background. Uh, do you have any experience and your acads?
Hi, Saurav. Firstly, thank you for having me here. Uh, yes, coming to my experience, no, I don't have any work ex and background. Well, I did my 12th in PCM science, uh, then moved on to pursue BBA. So that's what my background is like.
And in terms of acads, how would you say, like, were they very, very good or?
Uh, well, they have been sort of, up and down. So 10th, it was decent, 85%. Then there was a dip in the 12th scores. It was 74%. And then, I did good during my BBA and secured a 9.1 CGPA on 10. So it was like that.
All right. Now coming to your NMAT, you scored an impressive 252. And if
Right.
it's a really good score to get into NMIMS or any other college that you are aiming for through NMAT. So tell us your
Mm.
sections breakdown and how did you go about preparing for that?
All right. So I scored the highest in English. I scored 94 over there, 83 in LR, and 75 in quant. So I would say my quant was sort of my strong area. However, I worked upon the English part a lot because time used to be really less for English. I think we get only 26 or 28 minutes for that, right? What I realized was there were many questions on synonyms, antonyms, and they could be a game changer because they would not take time. If you knew the correct answer to them, you would get through like 5 to 6 questions within, let's say, in less than 30 seconds. So they would save a lot of time. And I needed to, I thought I needed to master that. So for that, I took the help of that book named Word Power Made Easy. So that was really helpful. And apart from that, a few, apps, to be honest, from Play Store. I downloaded a couple of apps which would actually help me expand my vocabulary in a very interesting way. So they would have, sort of simulation sort of a thing. And with the help of some dialogues from movies, they would explain, what those words meant. So I, made it a thing to learn at least 5 to 10 words every day. And I could actually see the difference. Like just within a month, I would come across those new words in some articles or some newspaper reading, right? And I would actually know what they meant. And even as I took in my tests, I noticed the difference. Like I could actually answer so many of such synonym antonym questions correctly because my vocabulary was expanding. So I think for English, that was the game changer for me. Apart from that, for quant, so I would say quant, like I said, quant was my strong area. Uh, so I usually started with quant because you can choose, the order as per your convenience. So I used to start with quant. So that used to give me some sort of confidence because I knew no matter what the toughness level would be, I would be able to crack, a decent number of questions in, let's say, the first 5 to 10 questions itself. So that would sort of set me up for the rest of the exam. Uh, and after quant, I usually used to take English. Reason being that there was a lot of pen and paper work in quant as well as in LR. So I wanted to make sure I did not have continuous 92 minutes of writing on the paper. So to make that happen, I used to schedule English in between so that my hand would get some rest. And then in the end, again, I would do the LR thing. So for LR, I would say LR was the part where I sort of struggled a little. Uh, the especially the input output thing, and even the series sort of questions. Also because LR was kind of different from what we used to do in CAT prep. So there were a lot of different kind of questions. We had to dedicate time towards practicing those. You could practice, but what I found was, I still, on a good day, I would end up, cracking such 4 to 5 difficult questions. In some tests, I would not be able to, and then, there was a lot of variation in my marks in LR. Fortunately, on the, actual D day, I managed to do it well. So that was that.
Yeah. So just a thought that I had. You were preparing for NMAT very seriously, or your major target was CAT, and then in the meanwhile, you thought that
Right.
your preparation for NMAT is also proceeding forward.
All right. So, I began the prep with CAT because I knew most of it would have, most of the prep for NMAT would get covered as I would prepare for CAT. And that's what happened. I prepared for CAT for the most of the part. And then I decided that I wanted to take NMAT before CAT. So in 2021, I had taken NMAT post CAT. uh, my CAT score was not that good, and there was this burden on my head that I had to do uh, really well in NMAT. I cleared the cutoff. I scored 236 then. I sat for the interview, which I felt was decently good, but for whatever reason I could not get through. So this time around, I had decided that I wanted to take my NMAT before CAT and go into CAT a little relieved because I was pretty confident that I would secure, at least a few marks more than 236, which I did during the previous year. So for NMAT, what I did was just you could say 10 to 15 days before CAT, I scheduled my NMAT, and around 20 days before NMAT, I completely focused my prep on NMAT. So that was so that I could do the NMAT by GMAC guide. I somehow had a PDF version of it, and I used that to solve certain questions and uh, improve, particularly in the LR and the English area.
Yeah. So another question is that NMAT is an adaptive exam. So if you do
Right.
questions correctly, the difficulty sort of increases, but the weightage of marks also increases. And
Mhm.
vice versa is also true. If you make mistakes, the questions get easier and easier with less and less marks. So do you
Right.
think it's a more difficult exam as compared to other OMTs and CAT, or do you think it's a very different exam, or do you think it's an easy exam?
Well, I think it's a very different exam, that's for sure. I would not call it very easy again. The thing is that you actually would not know, even as the questions get like even as you, at least that happened with me. Let's say I got 6 straight questions correct, right? Now, suppose that like as per the exam goes, the difficulty level of questions are supposed to increase. But uh, I would not know, like I would not actually pinpoint and say, okay, this question has actually gotten difficult. So I must have answered the previous five or six correctly. That's actually very hard to say. So that was something. You can never know if you have been answering your questions correctly or incorrectly, if how, by what percentage the difficulty has gone up or down. That's very hard to guess. So because of that, what I used to do was I used to make sure that, I answer the at least first 5 to 10 questions very seriously and correctly, so that that would set the, tone for me. So again, what I have a habit of doing is that I usually take a little more time in the beginning, uh, because I get very, like I try to focus a lot and read everything very correctly and sort of that way. So that's why I used to start with maths, because I knew that was my strong area. And I would there was less chance of me making a mistake there. So I would start with maths, and once, by the time I'd gotten over with maths, my speed would have built up, and that would actually help me during English. So yeah, the adaptive test being, you can't say it's difficult, that's for sure. The only thing that you need to be careful about is you can't afford leaving any question, because that results into a very heavy penalty that you have to bear, right? So what I used to do for each of the sections was that I would spare the, final 2 minutes of that section, whatever time used to be left. And in those 2 minutes, I would just, go for one option, let's say C or D, and I would answer all the remaining questions the same option.
All right. Now, these are some of the questions that we have got from the students. They're asking when should
Mm.
they be attempting their NMAT exam, like before CAT or after CAT, and how do you like quickly in a sentence, or do you want to help them make their choice?
Right. So I would suggest them to take NMAT before CAT, because, like I said, NMAT is not that difficult an exam. Decent, focused 15 to 20 days of prep completely towards NMAT would actually set you up really well for the exam. So I would say taking NMAT before CAT is the better option. If you have prepared quite well for CAT, you would almost be, let's say 60-70% prepared for NMAT. And the focused 15 days of prep towards NMAT would actually get you 100% prepared for the exam. And with that sort of preparation, a score of 240 sort of gets guaranteed until and unless, things go haywire on D-Day. So, with a score of 240 or above, you have a very decent shot, a very good shot at converting NMIMS Mumbai, the flagship program. So, with that sort of security, if you go into taking CAT and other exams such as that, uh, I think that is for me that, worked better. That at least I think should work better for everyone else too.
Yeah. Now coming to the question of how many mocks should one attempt for NMAT? Like, how many mocks did you attempt?
Well, I can't even count. Like, I would actually recommend attempting, if not one mock every day, at least one mock every other day. That is every alternate day for the last 15 to 20 days gearing up for the exam. That's what I used to do.
All right. Now coming to the college, one of the best colleges that you get from NMAT is NMIMS Mumbai, and right now you are studying in NMIMS Mumbai, and you have spent almost a year and a half. What is the
Right.
experience like for you, and how did you enjoy your experience, or whatever you felt? Would you like to share something?
Well, NMIMS has been an aspirational college for me. One of my cousins, he graduated from NMIMS in 2021, and I'm very close to that cousin. And since then itself, NMIMS was a college that I held very, highly, and I still do. So since then, it was sort of a dream to get into NMIMS, and which once I did, it's been a very great, 1.5 years here. Uh, I've actually liked the experience a lot. Yes, it's not a residential campus. Well, had it been a residential campus, that would have added to it, but nevertheless, the experience has been good. The faculty is, they are very supportive. The course curriculum is really, uh, good. It's updated. Uh, the peer group is very diverse, and you get to learn a lot from them too. And again, Mumbai. So, you're never far from fun out here in Mumbai.
All right, coming to my last question. So you interned at National Stock Exchange. How was that? How was the
Right.
experience like?
Yeah. So, that's one of the perks of being in Mumbai. You get to, intern in companies like that, which are in, let's say, 5 to 6 kilometers from your place. Uh, so yeah, coming to the experience, it was a very, sort of a wholesome experience, to be honest. Like, I thought it would be, laden with a lot of stress and stuff, but nothing like that. My faculty guide here at NMIMS, she was very supportive and helpful. My project guide at NSC, he was very supportive and, answered all my queries, and didn't let me, you know, sort of succumb to the pressure or anything like that. So he kind of handheld me. I had interactions, meetings with the CHR as well. Got to learn a lot from them, how NSE functions, what, their roadmap is like, particularly in context of HR, what the HR team is like, how do they go about things. So it was a very good learning experience for me.
Yeah. All right, Ankit, we really want to thank you for coming and helping our students understand what the process of what the process for preparation of NMAT is like and the journey that you went through, what learnings you had that maybe other students who are watching this video would be able to take away and implement in their strategy as well. And I'm sure we'll have you down the line when these students clear their NMAT and then are preparing for the NMIMS GDPI. Will have your understanding because you were at both sides. You once got rejected and then you also got accepted. So you have
Right.
that perspective as well. So again, we'll have you back in December or Jan, whenever the list comes out. Till then, we really want to thank you for sharing with us. And again, to the students watching, we both wish you guys all the best and keep learning and keep preparing for your dreams. Till then, bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Saurav. All the best to all the students as well.
Yep, guys, all the best.